Out of the city center noise, a peaceful mind rests in a quiet and serene environment. Caring with great customer service, delicious, and a diet that never leaves you in doubt. Come again. Pinnacle Hotel, located on the northern bypass of Mara City, wishes you a safe journey and welcomes you to a quiet and relaxing environment.
Believe me, it's not a lie. These feelings are real. Our love went supernatural, it went far.
Supporting small-scale industries will be key to helping Uganda reduce the volume of imports into the country and strengthen its balance of trade position. Uganda adopted an import substitution policy to reduce the balance of trade deficit, which today runs in hundreds of billions of shillings. However, observers know that good ground is yet to be covered in this aspiration. To pundits, the key to bringing the huge trade deficit, which has seen the country export mainly primary and semi-finished products, lies with supporting small-scale industries, which later transition into better operations.
As an association, we look at value addition as a niche for us. And this pushes import substitution. Through our members, we've been able to encourage a lot of industries that come in with value addition. So when these people start businesses here and they add value, we shall have less of imports coming in. So that is one of the strategies. Secondly, we've gone ahead to do a lot of lobbying and advocacy, which supports certification. When our products are certified, they will be actually friendly and free to be used by a Ugandan. So through the quality marks, the Ugandans are confident that the products that are being produced are not going to be harmful. So this, you will find less importation that is happening. Then we are going to be consuming our own products here.
However, for the impact of the small-scale industries to be felt, good effort should be invested in helping many players formalize operations, and this can be better timed through associations.
We are focused on supporting and the development of the micro, small and medium enterprises across the country, typically in value addition. Currently, we have over 7,200 members in value addition across the country. We have over 16 regional offices in Fort Portal, Kasese, Gulu, Arua, etc. So, as an organization, we believe through our services, we've been able to nurture thousands of businesses, and through this, we've been able to support them with the different services like registration of their businesses. We work with Uganda Registration Services Bureau to see that they are formalized as businesses. We also work with URA, Uganda Revenue Authority, to see that our businesses conform to tax. They understand tax and they can be able to pay tax, which is also supporting the domestic revenue mobilization strategy of the country.
Today, Uganda still struggles with scaling its production capacity, even when many experts marvel at its potential, especially in agro-industry and agriculture exports.
Sometimes building one big thing is better than having so many small things. I've seen that work in a certain number of countries where they focus on one particular thing they do. You find a small country or a small society, and it specializes in exporting one particular cash crop. And anyone in the world, if they get a flood or they get a natural disaster, they feel affected. That's one thing as Ugandans we need to get to. If we got a flood in this country, which item do our neighbors are going, is there something that our neighbors are going to suffer not getting because Uganda all of a sudden has a crisis? Apart from, importing our services, import a lot of labor and all these other things. Is there something physical that we export that if we do not export it, people are going to get a crisis?
In order to deal with the challenge, which is always worsened by the high business mortality rates, experts are calling for more partnerships, which are critical in augmenting the culture of business associations.
I think the piece that we miss a lot comes from the lack of what I call trust. If you have a person making Rolex, as an example, this is our recipe here in Uganda, and this guy makes Rolex next to your home, and you realize this guy has a peak season where he sells, and you also want to do the same business, it might be advisable you join forces with him, and you learn from him, then you provide finances and see how to take Rolex to the next level. as opposed to you starting your own and you compete for a smaller market, you could make it bigger. So that's how the spirit of entrepreneurship is going to be on. The guy could have a better recipe for a good taste. You could have access to the market. But then if you combine those, you're going to be like indomitable as a pair. If you started competing, you realize that you're going to eat into his margins, but you can't deliver the quality it delivers, and you dilute the whole trade. That's an example. It can mean other things.
So as Uganda looks to increase domestic production, bolster exports, and reduce the amount of money it spends on exports, a paradigm shift that requires businesses to embrace partnerships and association remain critical in freeing the country's potential. As a production and export powerhouse, especially for the globally sought-after agricultural products like coffee, which the country has huge potential to produce.